Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sarah Sperber and I am a realtor in the Northern Nevada market. On today's video, I'm going to be doing a live, I say quote unquote live because it's not actually being filmed live, but this is a Q&A from questions that I actually got on my Instagram account. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you can do that. It's at Sarah_is_selling. There's a lot of different kinds of content over on that feed, but also really helpful info for buyers and sellers just like you. So, worth giving me a follow. However, I did go on my story and asked home sellers what their biggest and most important questions were so that I could come on here and provide answers in a long form video. So here we are. All right, the first question that I got was, what is my home worth? And obviously, it depends on the home, but in general, it depends on location, size, condition, and then recent comparable sales in that area. If you are wondering what the value of your specific home is, feel free to connect with me. There's a link in the show notes below. You can book a free call with me, or you can see my contact info down there too. You can send me your address. I'll send you back a full on CMA report with everything you need to know, and we can connect from there. And I'm only talking about people who are in my market. That's a caveat. If you're in some other state, I can't help you. I'm sorry. I'm only licensed in Nevada and I only work in the northern part of the state. But happy to help you with that. Next question I received was, should I make repairs and renovations before selling? And my answer to that is it really depends on the condition of your home. But in general, what I would say is try to envision who the most likely buyer is going to be. And that should kind of give you a lot of insight as to, what they might care about, what their needs are as far as like a living space. If it's a first time buyer, they're probably going to be a lot less discerning and picky than somebody who's looking for their forever home, for example. That's not to say that first time home buyers don't deserve, a fresh start or like a new place or nice place or updates or whatever. A lot of first time buyers, especially with pricing constraints and mortgage interest rates being how they are, a lot of them are kind of just happy to get into the market and get started on building equity. If you have a home that is going to be more likely to be somebody's upgrade or forever home, then that's when maybe you want to talk about doing some of those items on the list. And if you don't know what they are, I would be happy to come over and do a personalized kind of strategy meeting in your home and kind of tell you what I think needs to happen to get it sold quickly. I made a video a few weeks ago actually about some upgrades that are just not worth doing. They're not worth the cost of doing. So you can go find that video if you scroll through my channel. It's one of my more recent videos. You can check that out. But something to keep in mind is you don't want to do anything super personalized. If there aren't like smudges on the walls and stuff, like you don't even necessarily have to do a fresh coat of paint. But if you are going to do a fresh coat of paint, like don't do some bold, crazy color, maybe avoid an accent wall. Just try to make it neutral, make it clean, make it fresh. One thing I always say is like if you don't want to go through the hassle of repainting your whole home, one thing that really freshens it up and makes it feel like it's freshly painted is painting the baseboards and the windowsills, because life happens. I don't know if you guys have kids. Our kids, they put glasses on the windowsills or whatever else, toys, and there's like scuff marks. That's one thing that's been on our list to redo, especially if we ever consider selling our home. So these are things to keep in mind. Is it a seller's market? Okay, right now we are in a seller's market. It is hot, 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 weather-wise and market-wise. And if you go to my channel trailer on here, I always make that my latest market update. I do them every single month. So the latest data that was published that I made a video about was the closeout of the month. But you can kind of see that prices are climbing, inventory is climbing, but it's moving faster. So everything that's coming online is getting eaten up at record speed. Even with high interest rates, we are still seeing the pace of the market moving, and we are seeing that sellers are getting what they are listing their homes for in general. So just keep that in mind. That's not to say that buyers can't get a great steal if we are very strategic with how we craft your offer, which I am a pro at. We can still get you a really good deal. So don't be a stranger if you want to reach out about that. This person wrote in and asked, how long will it take to sell my home? And that depends. Depends on where it's located, what the price point is, market conditions when you list it. If you have an entry level priced home, it's probably going to move really fast because it's a very competitive market for first time buyers. There's not a ton of inventory out there, and usually homes that are less expensive move quickly, and homes that are more in the luxury market require more of a niche buyer. A lot of times, those price points will require a cash buyer. So it just really depends on what the home is like that you are trying to sell. If you have questions about your specific home, shoot them my way. I'll help you out with that and give you kind of an estimate. I can also pinpoint zip codes, price points, and average days on market for you. So I could tell you pretty closely how fast we'll expect your home to sell based on a few factors. So we can get really, really nerdy with the data, and I love doing that. So just let me know if you have those questions. Do I need to stage my home? Okay, this one, it depends. I mean, a blank vacant home that's been freshly painted is always great because people really have the opportunity, therefore, to envision their own lives, their own furniture. They understand how big a home is truly, because sometimes having a bunch of furniture in there or other people's stuff can really kind of cloud your perception of space. So it's never a bad thing for it to be vacant and fresh and freshly cleaned. But if it's not that way, I would do kind of what I would call an occupied staging. So take everything that you have in there, declutter the crap out of it, get all your stuff out that's not essential, functional, minimize. Less is more. Go ahead and start your packing process, make it inviting, make it welcoming, make it seem like, ultimately you're selling a lifestyle more than you're selling a home. How should I price my home? Well, my friend. That's what I'm here for. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about that. And it's going to be specific to your home. And we're going to look at all the data. So we're going to be looking at comps, and that's recently sold properties, like within the last, I would say, 30 to 90 days or so. It depends on the property and the price point, though. Sometimes, if it's a neighborhood where there's a quick turnover rate, that's going to be a good barometer. Other times, if you're looking more in a luxury or niche kind of price point and market, then we're going to have to go back a little further than that. However, one of the most important things that we can look at to price your home is also what is under contract, because that's going to tell you most recently what went under contract at what price point. We're going to call that listing agent. We're going to say, how much traffic did you have? How many days did it take? Did you get multiple offers? Did you turn away buyers? Can we have their contact information? We might have a listing that would fit their needs as well. All of that is critical in pricing your home and getting it sold. Should I consider offers below asking price? And I say yes in general with a caveat. Like, depends on how far below, but in most cases, it takes 2 seconds for me to write a counter offer. So if you know you won't go that low, but you would go a little bit lower than asking, and maybe there's some other terms that we need to hash out, like timelines or whatever else, like that takes me all of 20 minutes to throw into a quick counter offer. The worst that they can say is no, right? We want to take every shot that we can to get your home sold. Sometimes an offer that's below asking, if it's not that far below asking, but let's say it is a cash offer and they've waived the appraisal or other contingencies, and maybe you're worried about it appraising. Maybe we're in a market right now where homes are selling over asking and the appraisal can get hairy because it's coming in low. An offer that's full price, but then pushing all these fees onto the seller might not be as strong as an offer that's 5K below, but they're offering to cover some of that or all of that. So we really need to look at every piece of the offer and make sure that you understand what it is that's truly being offered besides the price tag. All right, you guys, if you have any questions at all that weren't answered here about the home selling process, you can go ahead and hit me up. There's that link in the description box below to book a free strategy call. Just an opportunity for us to connect, see if we might be a good fit to work together, get your questions answered, and help you figure out a strategy for your next and best steps. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button. I put out new videos every single week about the Reno Sparks lifestyle, the Northern Nevada housing market, and of course, all things to do with buying and selling real estate. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.